Got the full test bag with me today. Bunch of different stuff from a bunch of different brands. I'm gonna see if I can try to keep everything straight on this run today and give some feedback and impressions at least. Let's start off with a disclosure first. All the products I'm testing out here today were provided to me free of charge by the various brands, but I am under no obligation to give any type of positive review or anything like that. What you hear from me, as usual, is completely independent and unbiased. These products were sent to me for test and review, and that's it. They will not get to see any of the content I put out about any of these various products before you see them. So they will be tuning in just like you and everyone else. Start from the beginning here. I loaded up my bladders with some Tailwind carb mixes here. First thing is the high carb mix, 90 grams in that one packet there. If you watched my Nike Wild Horse video from Hell's Gate State Park, I did get one sample pack out at TrailCon, and I quite enjoyed it out on that run. So Tailwind was nice enough to send me a few more packets for testing. First thing to note with that high carb mix is, as you can see, it mixes and dissolves much easier than a lot of other high carb mixes. Very little clumping, if at all. I threw some in my bladder there. Quick shake, not really too long, and I couldn't make out any clumps or anything like that. For me, that makes it a great option for races when I'm generally crewing myself and I don't have a big crew to pre-shake up all those high carb mixes that are definitely more difficult to dissolve. Also good for me, aside from the carbs, that is 90 grams, 360 calories, is there are 680 milligrams of sodium in each packet. I know that I'm a salty sweater and I can sweat out upwards of 1,500 milligrams per liter during hard efforts. Sometimes it's a challenge with some of the high carb mixes that there's a lot of carbs, but not necessarily enough sodium that I need, especially as these ultras get longer and longer. I find myself having to definitely bring salt tabs and then kind of just try to keep track of how many liters I took in to make sure I'm popping enough of those 215 milligram salt sticks. I did dilute it quite a bit for this test round though. I've got the bladder there. I mixed it up with about 500 or 600 ml initially and then filled the rest up with ice. So there's about 1 liter of fluid in there. So 1 liter, 680 milligrams, definitely not enough for me, but as I test, I'm gonna try to up the strength a bit, and I would definitely probably mix a bit more in there. And you know, at the end of the day, I still might be taking salt tabs, but that's just me. I know my salt rate when I'm sweating, and that's definitely something you should be digging into as well. So I'm looking for 2+ hours on the run today. Got 1 liter back there, 90 grams, and I also mixed up another 16 ounces of their endurance fuel, and that's 50 grams of carbs in that mix right there, which is a healthy amount. Also 630 milligrams of sodium, so that puts me in the range of 45 to 48 ounces, and 90 plus 50, 140 grams of carbs, liquid alone. I did pack 1 waffle back there just in case I feel a little hungry. It's not gonna be hard effort today, so even at this effort, I typically pack a few more calories, a few more carbs, but I wanted to test out how, I guess, satiated and fueled I feel with mainly that liquid hydration. I may dip into the waffle towards the end. on the way back. Well, let's skip to the spoiler alert here. I am in my first test run of the Hoka Mafate 5, but I'm sorry, I cannot divulge any details until August 1st. You may see some enticing running clips along the way here, but I apologize, not at liberty to discuss my impressions or any type of on-the-run review here. Stay tuned for that, definitely. August 1 is not that far away. So moving on through my testing kit here, I've got the Rapid Ice Perf short sleeve tee here. And I thought that might stand for performance, but clearly it stands for perforated. Absolutely loving this apparel from Rapid so far. They sent me another t-shirt, which I haven't run in yet. Actually, I did run in for a few minutes. Really like this one. It's a size medium. I typically wear either a small or a medium in shirts. I've been leaning towards mediums these days as kind of like more of a looser, flowy feel. So I'm 5'10", 138 pounds, thin type of frame on me here. And this medium is really good. If you watch my videos, you'll notice I run in the Patagonia Capilene lightweight trail shirt. That shirt has a bit of a lighter material than this one. It doesn't have the perforations, but it's a little bit tighter, even in a medium in that shirt. I like it because it's so light, but kind of like the little bit extra looser fit on this one. Like, I don't know, may have to transition my standard running shirt here. This one's really nice. It does have a weird kind of cooling feel, I have to say. When you put it on, something about the fabric, it almost feels cool against the skin. I mean, I don't know what it is, and that's not even sweating in it or soaking in it. It just kind of feels nice. It's made out of coffee beans, by the way, the nylon in the shirt. Don't know how to explain that one, but that's what they say. I think they call the color here quiet gray, which is just perfect. I mean, you know, look at my bucket hat here. The other day I was wearing all white when I raced Beaverhead. I wore my Under Armour Heat Gear white long sleeve base layer, and it's a little overcast today though, but generally speaking, light colors in exposed conditions, I'm all about it. And this being gray, not totally white, you know, totally white, can get a little dirty-ish, take a few spills, gets a little brown, can look a little bit dirtier compared to more colorful options. But this gray here, it's kind of striking the balance of what I want to have for temperature regulation and also a little color, and the perforations give it some style here. So really like this shirt from Rabbit. It's $48, which is, I don't know how you want to look at it. Running shirts, some of them can be crazy, but I think that's about mid-range for a very technical running shirt, in line with the Patagonia one. So I don't know, if I need new running shirts, I may have to start building up my supply of these right here. Moving down, I've got the Sidas Run Anatomic Comfort socks here. Now, this is not a new sock for me to be testing. I actually ran the Beaverhead 100K in this sock. I've also had it probably in a few other videos at this point. I'm pretty sure the On Cloud Surfer Max, but it's just a comfortable sock. Really like it. One thing about it, there's some extra padding around the toe box area, and that kind of extends to the ball of the foot, down by the base of the big toe. And what's this? There's stairs here. I guess this was kind of eroding out at times. So that's probably a good idea there. So it just has a great fit for me. I like that little extra cushion in the toe box. If you have a shoe that is perhaps too roomy in the toe box, something like this, it's a good option. It has these kind of like grippy areas, grippy bands at the front and also at the heel. Actually, I'm not sure if this one has it. There's another model that has a dual grippy band. But that definitely helps keep the foot from sliding around, and it's not noticeable at all underfoot. Like I don't feel any weird stickiness under my foot. So that's totally fine and very helpful. So Sidas here, I have a few other models in for test. I'm gonna start working those in. So this may be a good time to jump in and mention, I do all these reviews ad hoc on the run. I've got no notes on me today. Sometimes I bring an index card or even a quarter of an index card, or I just write the specs of a shoe or something. But other than that, there's no teleprompters around me. Watch some of these reviews and it's fairly obvious they're reading off script. But anyway, nothing wrong with that. But I'm on the run here. I do these things and I kind of talk about what comes to me, and then in the edit I'll throw in those little thumbnails, maybe for past reviews that are related to what I'm talking about at this moment. So the links to all those videos I do put down in the description. So I would urge you to, if you're watching my video, you like the content, pop open the description. I'm always gonna have kind of related videos in there. Any of the thumbnails that you see during the course of one video will be in the description below. I also always put links to the content that I'm reviewing and talking about, affiliate links where you can purchase and help support the channel. Also, my Ko-Fi page where you can support me directly if you wish. Also, links to humblerunning.com, the newsletter, related articles on the website. A lot of stuff going on, so I would just urge you and encourage you to just check out the description once in a while. If I talk about something in the video, just follow up. There's a good chance more details will be in the description. So speaking of related content, as I mentioned, I've got Mafate Speed 4 Lite. A couple videos down in the description. Links also to Cloud Surfer Max, which I also tested for the first time the other day. I have the FUGA Air 8.4 vest on right now, which I'm just about to talk about, but I also have a video on the FUGA EX3 and EX Pro models. Also, with the Tailwind, I tested that during my Wild Horse 10 review. A couple Wild Horse video links in the description, so all down below. Check out those links. So let's talk a bit about this FUGA Air 8 trail running vest on the way up here. You saw me filling up that bottle there. I like this bottle, the shape of it. I talked about that Ultra Spire kind of tapered bottle working really well for me. Kind of sits nice in bottle pockets, up against the chest very well, kind of flat. It is a similar design, but it has this angled kind of straw built in. So I kind of designed custom ones for myself there, short straws. This one has the angle to it built in, which I really like. Also has a locking mechanism, so it pops up and down. So you don't have to worry about spilling there, which is really great, especially if you want to store them in drop bags, or maybe even stash an extra one in the back of your vest. So it's down right now and it's locked, can't get anything out of it. And just pop it up. And it's really simple. That's a great feature. I am pretty loaded up with fluids here. Got the big, well not big, but 1 liter in the back. There's a separate sleeve area against the back for a bladder, which is great. A little kind of tab in there to hang the bladder. Then here, these are pretty much, I would say, pretty high riding pockets here for bottles. They're really good. I'm actually surprised that they're actually really very little bounce here. I like it. I think the Instinct vest is a little bit higher, and the Ultraspire Alpha I've been running in a lot. They're a little bit lower. This one's probably in the middle, which is hitting me just right. I don't usually like to go with dual flasks up front. It's just a lot bouncing around, but I think I might try it a lot more with this vest. Bounce is good. Another thing, there's a little tabby here that there's a cord running across. This is a front pocket here, but there's a cord running across the flask. Oh, it's pretty overgrown here. There's a cord running across the flask pocket, so you can pull this, you know, once it starts to, you know, you drink a lot out of there, it gets a little loose and floppy. This is gonna be really good to cinch that down. That's another great feature. So same thing on this side here. If you got that, I don't have a bottle in here right now. Color is different. Orange one here is for the bottle. You have this little pull tab to squeeze the bottle down across in the middle. Here, you've got a zipper pocket in behind, which is your phone pocket, valuables, for me, action cam, whatever, headphones. On this side, without the zipper, you have a little extra pocket on top here. Both sides, front kind of side body, you've got overlapping pockets here. So you got one here they can get into, and then from here on the side here, another one. Same thing on this side. Doing this on the run here. Front here, and then the side over here. And those overlap. They're not connected inside. So you can separate things, 4 separate pockets there. I thought about pulling over for a second there and walking through the pockets and the features of the vest, but it's actually probably more instructive to do it as I go. So anyway, talked about these front ones, talked about the front side body ones. There's a little pill pocket up here, not secure though, kind of a stretchy one. I often carry a little Ziploc of salt tabs. That would be the spot for that. There's nothing else on this shoulder. I've got my bladder hose routed there. You saw when I was setting up, had a little bit of trouble figuring out where to, oh, can't see the trail here, where to route the hose. It's actually the first time I'm running in this vest, so I think I've got my hose here. I put the magnet here, but it's a little too long. If I was gonna race in this vest for sure, I'd get another hose, probably trim it a little bit shorter so it hits right here, and then use the access. But right now, a little bit too long, so just kind of tucking it down here. Ooh, another big feature, perhaps the best, tucked in here. That is a trash pocket. Awesome. This is extremely helpful during races and just running. I haven't run in a Salomon Advanced Skin 12 vest in a few years now, but I did hear they removed their trash pocket in the latest version, which is kind of puzzling. Very happy to have this one. It's also detachable, so I don't know why you would want to detach it, but it might make it easier, and I don't know, who knows. But it's attached, all the wrappers in there. It's great. Of course, we've got the BOA-esque dial here. This is not an official BOA dial, but it is a similar design. Unidirectional, can't back it up. It's not a dual direction, so I can't loosen it little by little. So I actually have drank a bit of my fluids. So dial it down, there we go, all set. So if I want to loosen it, I have to kind of pop it, and actually it doesn't completely loosen that quickly. So it's really not that big of a deal that it only goes one way. Kind of loosened it up too much there, but you can see that was pretty easy. Yeah, there we go. Works really good. I kind of like it because, you know, there's 3 points of contact on both sides. These are not adjustable, by the way, but if you got 1, 2, plus a dial, here you've got 3 clips, 1, 2, 3. So 3 on each side. A lot of vests, including the Solomon ones, you'll have 3 here, 3 points, and then you'll have 2 loops on this side, which always struck me as kind of imbalanced, kind of like weird. And sometimes I would even add a lower one, because I think I would want to have it cinched pretty good and solid down here. Seems important. But if you only have 2, they're gonna be centered in the middle, and I don't know, it just always struck me as weird that you wouldn't have an equal number of clasp points on each side. So no problem with that here. They pop off pretty easy. Just kind of grab it and finagle it. Well, and I'm holding the camera. It's gonna be tricky. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of need 2 hands to pop it back on. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's a simple operation with 2 hands. I'm not holding a camera on the mini stick. There's also a bunch of nicely designed pockets on the back, but we'll have to stop to get into those. There's a jacket pocket up top. So, small section behind my head here. That one is obviously meant to be reached on the run. So let me just reach back there. No problem. I could stuff jacket in and out, and that's cut off from sliding down into the main section. Why don't we take a little stop right here? All right, so let's just pop these off real quick. So that's pretty easy. 1, 2, 3. When you're washing this, you got to make sure these are kind of clipped on. It can be a little tricky to figure out, you know, grab one and easily kind of clip them on real quick. The orange one's in the middle, so that's your cue. And then you just got the top and the bottom. So again, this is my first time. We'll see. Nice mesh honeycomb pattern here. Polygene tag here, so maybe it won't smell as much, to be determined. So this is your jacket pocket right here, which I reached into. I've got my hydration bladder. It's cut off about here, so the bladder doesn't slide all the way down, which is great. Some of them don't do this, so then the bladder ends up swinging around inside. This is a buckle, not a Velcro, which is also nice. There's no main kind of compartment in here aside from the hydration bladder. So the hydration bladder's pretty much in there without a separate main compartment. But you have some kind of good options. On the outside, you have 3 overlapping pockets, or 2, depending on how you want to look at it. This outside one, where I stuck my little waffle here, that I could reach if I undo the lower clasp. I could kind of pull the vest up with one hand and reach this outside pocket here. And then under here, you also have another kind of compartment in the middle here. So you have one out here, one in the middle. You have the hydration bladder, which there is plenty of room in here. So if you don't have a hydration bladder, this is a big compartment. And even if you do, there is a lot of space in here. So you can put it on top of bladder. So that inner one with the bladder where I have it, wind shell one, this one here, middle pocket, and then also on the inside, which is great, there is another zipper pocket. So if you want to have stuff that's secure, like batteries or like long-term fueling that you just don't want to fall out, or your emergency headlamp or kit or inReach or whatever that you don't need on hand right away, but you absolutely want to keep secure, so you have a zipper pocket that's low on the back here. And I just think that's great. Sometimes sometimes you don't even have a zipper pocket in there, or sometimes it's kind of in a weird spot. This one is good if you want to have your extra emergency light. It's secure, zipped up, but you could also get to it easily. So very cool. There's bungee loop attachments here. These are for the poles. I think there's some on the back over here. They do make a quiver, and there's I don't know how that attachment works. I think something with this thing, they have a custom attachment point here. So I got my orange one here, top, bottom, and I'm good to go. So this is a size medium vest here. I'm 5'10", 138. You could see my kind of frame here. They sent me a medium and the large because they said they had mixed reviews on sizing. Medium fits me great. I typically wear a small in a lot of brands, so I think this is pretty good. Obviously, I just have a t-shirt here, so I have space to even make it a little tighter if I wanted to, or in colder conditions if I have more layers or even a jacket underneath. I have plenty of room to dial this. So see, that's pretty quick. I think these little X thingies keep everything well situated. I didn't have too much trouble buttoning that up. Again, you could loop these around the top of the flask if you want, that kind of thing. These are the cinch things to squeeze down the flask along the middle. So you see that goes across the bottle pocket right here. This is a little extra pocket. Pretty cool. I really like this vest. It's solid on the run. I'm very surprised at the quality of this vest, and I like the pocket layup. I like how this zipper pocket is really big. I often put my camera in here, which I'm filming with now. This has a little bit of a layer here. I guess this is waterproof against your chest. So they do say that's your phone pocket. So that should keep it feels pretty dry in here, and I am sweating, so that's good. Again, these two overlapping pockets on each side. This one goes all the way back here. This one all the way up to the front. Same on this side. This one goes all the way to the back. This one goes all the way to the front, but they're separated by fabric in between, so keep things organized. All right, let's get on the run. $120 down, on the way back now. Finished off the lollipop at the end of the loop there. I was talking probably a bit too much, wasn't drinking enough, so I just polished off the 1 liter just right now. So that's 32 ounces down, 90 grams of carbs at 120. Stomach feels completely fine. I've got the endurance fuel in here, 16 ounces. Just had a couple sips for taste. The high carb stuff, it has definitely more of a citrusy taste, less of that kind of, I don't know, smooth, Morton-esque kind of, I don't know, sugary taste, not sugar, I don't know. It has that weird kind of taste, a lot of those high carb ones. This one's more citrusy for sure. It could be the sodium or whatever that's in there gives it more of a taste like a regular hydration fuel. I find it actually pretty palatable, and again, convenient that you know you got 90 grams in that one packet, and you know that you're going to be able to mix it up during the course of a run if you have to filter or a race situation. And you saw with this vest all those kind of nice, well situated rear pockets. You could kind of load up 3 or 4 packs in there and then be good for 3+ hours in a race. That's pretty solid, and also not a lot of weight. Those mixes are pretty dry, assuming you could get some water to mix it up. I've got the Mandarin flavor here for the, I guess, regular endurance fuel. It's got 50 grams of carbs, so that's not light, you know. They tell you to mix in 16 to 24. So I've mixed it in with 16 here. So on their scale, that's on the concentrated end, and it doesn't feel overly sugary. It has kind of a lightness to it, which is nice. One of the ones I've been using recently is the Scratch hydration mixes, the regular one, and I use those in Beaverhead, but they're definitely smaller packets, and I like it because they have a light kind of fruity taste to it, but there's only 20 grams in those, which is the thing here. The packets are bigger. You do get 50 grams there, and I would have thought it would be overly sugary or have an overly sweet taste, but it really doesn't. I mean, I know Tailwind, a lot of people like it for the kind of non-sweet flavor and texture to it, but I haven't been really using Tailwind that much. So it's kind of nice. Good to have another option where you got like 50 grams in a packet. So that's a wrap on this bit of a mishmash of testing here. I have to say, really liking this Kailas vest here, Air 8. Take a look at my review, first impressions from the Fuga models, the EX3 and the Pro. Those I also was pleasantly surprised. Really nice features in both of those shoes and this vest here. Really great. I'm going to continue to test Tailwind High Carb and Endurance Fuel. Keep you posted on how that goes and if they work my way into my standard fueling setup, to be determined. Also, got this rabbit shirt, another rabbit shirt, a couple pairs of rabbit shorts, as well as the High Country shoe in for test. So stay tuned for more from Rabbit. I'm gonna take you out here with some test footage of the Hoka Mafate 5 again. Lip sealed until August 1st. Stay tuned for that at Humble Running. Like and subscribe. Check out the website, sign up for my newsletter, all that good stuff. I'll see you during the next video, and have a nice day out on the trails.